Hello and welcome to the Day Ahead. It's Wednesday, March the 18th. I'm Andrew Gagan. The local market is set to open higher this morning with ASX futures up just over 0.1%. Global equity markets rose for a second straight session despite higher oil prices, with energy facilities in the UAE and Iraq struck by Iranian drones, while Israel said it had killed Iran's security chief. Wall Street's major indices finished in the green as the Federal Reserve began its two-day monetary policy decision with it contemplating the inflationary effects of higher oil prices. Well, shares of airlines and travel companies rebounded from losses related to the war in the Middle East, with Delta and American Airlines both gaining after raising their revenue guidance for the current quarter. And Norwegian Cruise Line and Expedia Group also rose. Energy companies Occidental and ConocoPhillips rose, tracking the higher crude prices. And Nvidia closed lower as its optimistic sales outlook failed to offset investor concerns about a potential slowdown in demand for its chips. Amazon rose after Chief Executive Andy Jassy said he sees AI doubling AWS sales forecast to $600 billion by 2036. Ride-hailing app Uber rallied after announcing plans to roll out robo-taxis in 28 cities starting next year, powered by Nvidia's autonomous driving software. Honeywell dipped after the industrial company said the Middle East conflict could affect its first quarter revenue, and Eli Lilly fell after a broker downgrade. Well, Israel claims to have killed Iran's security chief, Ali Larijani, the most senior figure targeted since the beginning of the war, while Iran has rejected de-escalation offers conveyed by intermediary countries. President Trump has said that the United States was not ready to leave the military operation in Iran yet, but that we'll be leaving in pretty much the very near future, he said. And the ongoing conflict has prompted the American president to postpone his planned trip to Beijing to meet Chinese President Xi Jinping. And in its latest monthly survey of fund managers, the Bank of America has revealed a slump in investor sentiment to a 6-month trough, coinciding with a jump in cash levels from February's 3.4% to 4.3%. 45% of respondents forecast higher inflation over the next year, with interest rate expectations also jumping. Well, US Treasuries rose modestly ahead of the Federal Reserve's policy decision, the US 2-year Treasury yield falling to 3.66%. The 10-year was at 4.19%. Australian 3-year government bond yields fell to 4.54% following the RBA's split decision to hike the cash rate by 25 basis points. Markets are priced in a 55% chance it will be hiked by another 25 basis points at the next meeting in May, and around one more hike by the end of the year. The US dollar index was little changed. The Aussie dollar is up around 0.5% at 71 cents. Well, oil prices have surged again as renewed Iranian attacks on the United Arab Emirates heightened concerns about the worsening outlook for global supply. Oil loading at the port of Fujia was halted after the third attack in 4 days ignited a fire at the export terminal. Brent crude futures rose more than 3% to over $103 a barrel. The gold price held steady ahead of the Fed decision, spot gold at around $5,000 an ounce. Copper rose 0.5%, iron ore up more than 1% to $111 a tonne, and Bitcoin is currently trading at around $74,500 US. That is your day ahead. We'll see you again tomorrow.